Hey everybody, welcome back to Harris Family Adventures. All right, we're going to start with a little bit of shaky footage here as we are driving downtown in Lincoln for Volleyball Day in Nebraska. This was August 30th, and it was our attempt to break the record that Wisconsin had set with their volleyball game the previous year, and the only way we could do that was to host the game at Memorial Stadium, at our football stadium. So, spoiler alert, we did break the NCAA record. We also broke the United States world record for number of attendees at a women's sporting event, as well as the world record. So that was really exciting. This was such a fun event. Our family is very excited about Nebraska volleyball. We have been going forever since they were at the Coliseum, which you'll see in just a bit, the inside of the Coliseum. The games are now at Devaney Center. If you ever have a chance to go to a volleyball game, I would highly, highly recommend. Tickets can be very hard to find. We actually sell out, including the standing room only seats. So, not seats, the standing room only area, but I would highly recommend going. Like I said, this time it was at Memorial Stadium, though, so that we could fit those 92,003 people. So, we had parked in the Haymarket. There are a variety of garages around the Lincoln downtown area. I would recommend making a reservation in advance. They're usually $12 to $20, depending on how close the garage is. The garage that we parked in this time was about 9 blocks away, but we didn't mind. We were walking to campus. You can see there is always construction happening around campus, which is a good sign. We are growing. I've gone to the University of Nebraska for several years for different things, so I usually can find what I need around campus, but again, with construction, there's always something new popping up. During our walk, we could see down into the Haymarket. You can kind of see Pinnacle Bank Arena over there where there's concerts and the basketball games. On city campus is Memorial Stadium, and then just a bit north of that is the Devaney Center, where again the volleyball team typically plays. It is sold out with just standing room only seats, or not seats, available most of the time. It is a pretty walk to get down a little bit early and walk around. This was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The game wasn't until 7, but it was such a big event that we decided to go down early. They had some events at the Coliseum, and Reece and I like to go inside the Union also. You've heard me, if you've seen my other videos, talk about Valentino's Pizza. They sell that at the stadium, but they also sell it in the Union. So if you want to go and try that out. They also have a fairly large bookstore with textbooks, but also gear if you need gear. Because guys, you have to wear red. Like I don't understand people who don't wear red to these things, or at the very least something with Nebraska. And even if you aren't going to the game, if there's a football or a volleyball game, we wear red. We wear it to work during the day. We wear it at night. So this is inside the Coliseum. This is where the volleyball games were for years, and it's much smaller, and we would sell it out all the time. You can see the net there covered with good luck messages. We left our own, but they kept selling it out and selling it out. And then once the Pinnacle Bank Arena was built, then the basketball teams moved to that, and then the volleyball team got to move to Devaney, and it is an awesome experience, much more comfortable than the Coliseum. This is us walking from the Coliseum, it was very warm there, over to the Union. So again, there are 2 campuses of the University of Nebraska within Lincoln. This is the main campus. There's also East Campus, but this is just a view. If you were a student walking from class to class, it was a pretty nice day. I think the high ended up getting to about like 87, but it's starting to cool down at this part of the day. And Reece and I love walking around campus. This is when we finally got in the stadium. This was probably 45 minutes before the game started. Yup, that's what it looked like. This is why you wear red, everybody. Why you wear red. So this is us getting excited. I would love to have you be able to listen to the Tunnel Walk song. Last time I tried to do that for our spring game, I got a copyright ding. So I'll just talk you through it. But they did do the Tunnel Walk like our football team does. We were in the North Stadium. These seats were great. Originally, the court was going to go the other way, so the seats would have been even better, but they worked. This is as it got darker. Reece was excited. This was his first night game in Memorial Stadium. So we could see what was happening actually on the court, but then there's also those big screens around us. And yes, if it looks a little smoky, Those are those Canada wildfires. We got some of that. I think they did a great job of combining volleyball aspects and traditions as well as some of the football aspects and traditions. They had some great video things. This is when they were announcing that we had, in fact, broken the world record. We had 92,003 people. So you can see the court is set up there, and then they were able to sell tickets for standing room around that. So that's how we were able to fit more than even a typical football game, which we also sell out. We don't have professional sports teams here. We have some semi-pro baseball teams, but we don't have professional teams. So our university, and we only have one university. So our University of Nebraska stuff, we take pretty seriously around here. And it was so cool to be there. It was such a fun environment. And we are getting closer to the end now. And at the end, they said, okay, I think this is maybe the last point. They said, okay, stay in your seats when the lights go off. We all went, ooh. It was so exciting. We didn't know what was going to happen. Now, yes, there was a concert after. You can see that stage at the end. It was Scotty McCreery. No hate to Scotty McCreery. I don't know who he is. I would not know if he showed up at my door right now. So we did not stick around for the concert. I would say probably half of the people did, but guys, it was a Wednesday night. It was a school night. It was a work night, and we had all bought tickets. They had said there'd be a concert. They had no idea who it was going to be. I don't think they announced that till like July, and we bought tickets in April, and it sold out, I think, within a day or two. I think it sold out within a day because they were only going to have half the stadium filled. Like they weren't going to do the south end zone. We're in the north right now. But then they ended up selling all of the seats, and then they ended up opening the Florida seats. So it was a whole thing. So you can see it was very exciting. This is when we're shouting Husker, and then the other side would shout Power, and we were counting down because they had some exciting things planned for us. They do shoot off fireworks. Just be warned, be aware that when there's a score, a big score, fireworks do go off at that north end zone. And then these are the drones. It was such a cool drone show. I didn't get all the footage again. You could see there was a little bit of things in the way to see it completely, but it was so cool. So again, I would highly recommend if you are ever in Lincoln in that fall time of year, well, it's nice to come in the fall, always try to get an event or a ticket to an event. That's all. See you next time.